We're going to talk about Borderlands talk. We're going to do a little bit of indie talk because of the ID. Yeah, the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Then we're going to do a little bit of indie talk because of the Xbox ID. And then the big news, the Hogwarts reveal. The state of play.
Yeah.
We could do we could do a little bit of talk about Quarry too, because that's the only game of that type that I'm really pumped to play.
Just a game-focused video game podcast episode.
That's the one thing we haven't done yet. Let's just focus on news.
I didn't really think about that. Fuck.
Well, the Microsoft news, that's the one we've done. So one thing I want to say is there may be cuts in this video. We did that for you. We don't want it to be, like we don't want to waste your time. Basically, if we have moments where we have to stop and fix something, there's going to be a cut, even if it might seem a little distracting going from one thing to another. But just want to throw it out there.
We don't have a history of recording or being on camera, so we probably will fuck up a lot, and he'll probably cut me cussing because I do that a lot.
So it may just go from Cole saying we probably will to whatever we're doing next.
Yeah, just you can cut me out actually. All right, so we're gonna start with Hogwarts Legacy, the hard-hitting thing that we've been waiting. I've been waiting for gameplay or a glimpse of this game for a long time, and then they showed 14 minutes and 44 seconds, but who's counting? Of this game, and it's fantastic.
Are you counting the behind the scenes?
No, I didn't watch all that.
Oh, see, I'm more of a fan than y'all. I watched the behind the scenes.
I was at work.
I had to work, bro. I was underneath the house.
Right. Yeah. No. Y'all should go back and watch the behind the scenes because it shows you how much these people care. And that, I'm not a big Harry Potter guy. I appreciate the movies, but I'm not nearly the fan that these guys are. But seeing how proud Avalanche is of making this game and how much they are super fans makes me really interested in it.
That is a big part of games.
Yeah.
Big part of anything. Honestly,
you look at Avengers, and I did not feel like they cared about. Yeah. It was just corporate.
Yeah, I really wasn't expecting them to go as deep as they did with all the combat and the creatures and all that. There's so much different systems, but none of them look overwhelming to me at all.
Yeah, no individual one looks overwhelming, but it's crazy how much is in this game.
It looks ambitious as hell.
Yeah. It's got to be a 100-hour game. I know, if you mainline it, probably not that, but with crafting spells and potions and everything like that, so much you could do. You spend so much time Bully just going to class and.
Well, see, that's what I was going to bring up. Is I love that they included that they're doing seasons.
Yeah.
Like Bully, because Bully did the holidays and stuff like that, and that was such a cool thing. As you're progressing through the school year, you're doing Christmas, Halloween, and stuff like that.
One thing I wanted to point out, because I get why they're doing it, but making them a 5th year is a little disappointing to me, just because I feel like you're missing some of the experience of it. He's obviously been doing this somewhere else, and I don't really know where that would be.
Right? Yeah,
I don't know of any other schools.
Well, there's the lore
American school.
There's a bunch of different.
Oh, okay.
Polish school.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different schools, but it is weird to jump into 5th year. I don't know, but they're acting like he's almost not trained.
Right. Yeah, because you have to catch up. They kept saying you have to catch up. You have to do side stuff to catch up to your
classmates,
and then also you do have that unexplainable power that your professors can't. So maybe that's what. Maybe he didn't have any training because he just got that power in his 5th year, so he had to jump in late.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because the more advanced spells are in later years of the books and stuff.
Yeah.
What can you do as a first year?
Right. Well, one thing I was just blown away by is they took Hogwarts, which we haven't seen every bit of Hogwarts in the movies.
Exactly.
And so they took what they knew from the books and they had to fill in the gaps.
Right.
Yeah.
Corridors and stuff, and they did that.
What
they showed looks brilliant the way they connected it all.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be crazy to go on something this big and this, high value property and create Hogwarts.
See, I thought when they first announced this that I wouldn't like the 1800s setting.
Yeah.
Just being so far in the past, but I was like, it works.
Yeah, I don't feel it.
I don't need those legacy characters.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be some sprinkled in.
There'll be, yeah.
I imagine there are people that are mad about that, but it would have felt really weird to have Alan Rickman, don't do those characters. We've seen those characters. We know where they go. I like that we got all new stuff like that. I don't even remember what he taught, but the dude in the purple robe.
Oh,
The whole thing with him was so charming. I'm ready to see what that class
all the
is
professors are pretty cool. Distinct, different personalities and stuff.
My favorite part of that whole thing was obviously the combat and the creatures you can fight and shit are dope. But the common rooms for the different houses.
All houses,
Yeah, because like in the movies, you only get a visual representation of Slytherin and Gryffindor.
And then in the books, they don't really talk about the other two much. I think Luna may talk about Ravenclaws.
Yeah.
But Lego Harry Potter did a common room for each house. Really? And it looks a little similar. I mean, Slytherin, but like the Ravenclaw one, like it kind of looks similar. Yeah. But it is cool to see the different houses.
Yeah.
Do you know what houses y'all are picking yet?
Yeah, Hufflepuff.
I knew you.
I was going to do Hufflepuff, but I was like, I'll do something different, so I'll be Ravenclaw. I'm not going to be Slytherin. Screw those guys.
I'm going to do Gryffindor then.
All right, I knew you were going to do Gryffindor. Ravenclaw is interesting because Luna Lovegood, she's a Ravenclaw, and she's like one of my favorite characters in the movies and stuff.
I didn't think they were going to hit it with casting spells feeling good, but it looks like it does.
Dude, and the blocking, dude, it looks good.
I'd say the only detraction I have from the actual combat is he seems like he's just standing still while he's casting. Like, I get it, you're not going to have this kid Dark Souls rolling around and everything, but
there was a roll.
It feels like he's so static while he's casting, but I don't know, man, it might feel fine. And you're more involved in the parrying and the knocking their spells back at them, so I could see it working just fine.
It's more of like you're silent left and right and knowing when to block and then throw your spell.
There is a roll. I did remember seeing a roll.
It looked real slow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's a kid, so I get it.
I was worried that we weren't going to be able to customize like out of the robes. Then he showed a little bit. I was like, he
wasn't wearing.
Yeah, I don't want to wear a robe all the time.
Yeah.
But like exploration, I think the open worldness of it is gonna be awesome.
God, dude, I'm so pumped for this game.
I am, but I will. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be the guy that kind of points out some things. When he was on the broomstick flying around, I'm not certain that's gonna be because there's no way they made all of that. Like it feels like it's gonna be pretty empty. They made a lot. I
think it's gonna feel a lot like riding the hippogriff. Because he also does that. I think a lot of the flying mechanics aren't going to be too deep, but if it's easier to get around that way, I'm fine with it.
I mean, maybe they'll hit that out of the park. It's more for me like the world, as big as it's going to be riding the broomstick all around, I don't know if they're going to fill all that in, so you're going to be flying over a lot of emptiness. But I ain't seen the game fully yet, so I can't say that for sure. It's just like in that moment, that's what I got an impression of. I was like, this is probably going to be point A to point B, and the middle stuff is just stuff you fly over.
Yeah. Speaking to that, I hope they push this game back.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. It looks so
it looks so done.
Yeah.
What did Cyberpunk 2077 look like? It looked complete.
Yeah. We didn't see this much of Cyberpunk, though, I would say, at this point.
Right, and they didn't wait. They kept trickling it out. I feel like the fact that they waited and they did it all at once right now, that makes me think that they're really close to
They've been working on it.
Yeah.
I just want, I'm a little cynical because of what Cyberpunk 2077 did to me. And my hype levels are getting to that level.
I don't think that any developer, and this will come back to bite me, that will ever put out a game like that again. Because you think of the hate and the feedback they got.
It's set CD.
I think that's why Halo got pushed a year because they knew they couldn't do that. Release a broken game.
Yeah.
I feel confident that Warner Brothers has got this down pat.
I mean, when they say holiday, I could see December, and that seems like enough time.
Yeah, I think that's the date.
Well, I mean, it was supposed to come out last year, so I mean, it's already been pushed.
I think that's the only thing that can hurt this game is to launch, and I don't think it could ever be as broken as Cyberpunk and them actually launch it, but maybe there's so many mechanics that some of them slip through some of the problems.
Yeah. And I'm not expecting every mechanic of this game to feel great.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be enough of little things that everything will, like the potions and stuff, I may not do that a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because that's not my thing, but it could be easy enough where I may get into it,
Yeah, if it's convenient to go to class, and it's enjoyable to be in there, then that'd be a reason to do it. And if there's challenges involved with crafting a certain amount of things too.
I hope it's going to do well. I hope it does well enough to get more than one because I love the idea of like going to Hogwarts as a school year kind of deal. Like.
Well, I think it's almost guaranteed to get a sequel because it's going to do at least well.
Yeah.
And also they've already built all these assets, and the great thing about a Harry Potter game is once you have Hogwarts, you kind of got the staple. Everything else can be built around it, and they've done all this work to build Hogwarts out. They're going to make another one.
And then once you have a character, you can do multiple years.
Exactly.
The only thing I'm worried about is in the trailer, in the 15-minute trailer, there the verbiage they used was you can buy clothing. Now I think they meant with in-game currency.
It is because
okay,
they
because I did not want microtransactions.
They released that there's no microtransactions.
Microtransactions. Coming to a stage near you. Microtransactions.
Yeah, there are none in this game. They did say that because I think there was some confusion. Because, I mean, they did release a post afterwards, so I guess there was enough people talking about it.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be dumb to do that.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. So I think levels at 10.
What did y'all think about the villain, the goblin?
Don't care.
Yeah, I mean they'll probably
which
make
is
us
weird.
Care, but I get. I mean the story seems fine that he's teamed up with the
Dark Wizards.
The Dark Wizard. Like I can see it.
Gives you a variety of opponents to fight.
Yeah, in that short span of time, it's hard to care about.
Well, I knew going into it wasn't gonna be a Grindelwald or Voldemort. Yeah. So I was wondering, but I think the goblin's the best choice because it's not just a wizard. A wizard.
Now get away from as much of the mainline stuff as you can, just because we want to see different stuff.
Yeah,
like, I want to know other things going on.
All the creatures that haven't been in movies and stuff.
The trolls, the dragons. Yeah. Like we've seen dragons in movies, but not to like this extent.
Yeah. And never really like out roaming the wild.
Yeah,
yeah. But great showing.
Yeah.
Like, man,
awesome state of play.
I mean, I'm into the series, so I was expecting a lot, but it still blew my expectations.
Yeah, me too. God, I'm so pumped for this game, dude. Yeah, my hype levels are at 10 for sure.
I mean, mine moved up. I was in an 8 just because, again, the property's not my favorite, but it's a 9 just because the passion they put into it. I can't say 10 just because I still don't know that I'm going to like. I just don't think it's cool to cast with a wand. Like, it just doesn't look cool to me, but it looks as cool as it can, so I'm going to play the game for sure.
Yeah. You want to jump into the Quarry?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Yeah, the Quarry.
So it had a trailer. Was it the same day as Hogwarts, or was it?
No, it was the day after.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a PlayStation thing.
Yeah, it was before. No, well, I mean, I got it on Xbox on YouTube. That's where my notification came.
I got the.
It was right before that state of play.
I got the summary of the game, and then we'll just talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's a late summer in the remote forest of upstate New York, and teen counselors of Hackett's Quarry have the camp to themselves for one final night. That means no kids, no adults, and no rules. In this thrilling cinematic tale, you control the fates of 9 camp counselors as their party plans unravel into an unpredictable night of horror. With life or death decisions around every turn, the choices you make will determine how the story unfolds.
Nice. Killing them all except David Arquette.
9. I mean, like they showed that many, but I didn't know all of them were playable.
Okay, so let's say first impressions. Trailer, awesome. But Justice Smith, his voice does not. Something was off. Was that his character?
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
like he just seemed like a layabout, like a layabout. I feel like an 80-year-old woman, but he just seemed. Oh, that guy's a layabout. Yeah. He just seemed like he did not care. And I'm like, this is a horror game. You're supposed to be freaked out.
I mean, they're gonna show big.
Well, he's he's a storytelling guy. You know like in Scream, the girl. Yeah, he's the one that's just giving the whole pitch and freaking everybody out because he knows how horror movies go. And I think that's why he's so calm, is because he's the one that's telling the story and the rules. The rule guy, that's what you call it.
Yeah, Marley sent me this trailer.
Out of the blue.
Yeah, out of the blue. I didn't know anything about it, and I watched it and I was so excited. I mean, I love horror. I love the campiness of like camp, but also like
pun intended, baby.
Also like Friday the 13th and slasher movies. So it had that feeling. But I think they're going to get into some supernatural stuff with it.
Yeah, I want to dive into the game itself more, but I want to say, do you like just surprise drops like that more than waiting until an event?
Yeah. Because I get my expectations too high when events are announced.
Fair.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
I will say it goes both ways though, because the fact that it just dropped out of nowhere. I mean, with a game like that where I'm confident because it's Supermassive, yeah. But there's plenty of times that Xbox will drop a trailer on their channel, and then I don't really have that much hype because it's just out of the blue, Yeah. If it's not a big studio, then that can sometimes hold back my excitement.
It reminds me of that year, I think it was 2020, when Nintendo was doing that a lot more. Instead of Directs, they were just like Paper Mario, the Origami King was just showing up on one day it was dropped, and I think I was more excited for that than if they would announced a direct. And
that's true.
Because if you have even 24 hours to get your expectations up, they will rise. And
that's fair. Yeah, the expectations is the main thing there.
But I also think it depends on what type of gamer you are. So like if you don't see it, like I don't really notice. I know the big ones, like the big production developers and stuff like that. But when I see a trailer that's released, the thumbnail first is what always draws me in, and then I click on it, and I always have the same amount of level or hype for it until the trailer's over with. And then, of course, I'm gullible as all hell. So if I see something, I'm like, man, that looks amazing.
Yeah, is this exclusive?
No.
Okay.
Because like I said, it was on Xbox and Sony's.
Okay.
I got them both on YouTube, and the trailer popped up at the same time.
I was wondering. I mean, just because of if they would have combined that announcement, Hogwarts, and last week's State of Play, it would have elevated that State of Play so much.
The State of Play should have just been longer, and they should have put this with it.
Put both of those, yeah.
I agree, but they wanted to focus on Japanese studios, so
which is fine,
yeah. It just should have been better, but we'll move on from that one. Y'all want to get into the indie?
Yeah. Which I didn't watch all of it. I watched most of it, though.
Well, it was... Okay, I'll start by saying I do not like the format. I usually really love ID Xbox. Yeah, and normally they're not that long, I don't think. But they had Andrew, Renee, and Adrian on there doing the hosting, which, I mean, they did a good job, but I felt like they were filling the hole. Like they had said 2.5 hours is what we want. Yeah. And they were just stretching it out, and they take breaks to stretch it out.
They show the game, and then they talk more than the game was even shown. I'm like, just jump to the next thing. I
saw a lot of people in the comments complaining about like the interviews and stuff. And I don't like that people complain about that because these are indie developers that can't afford to pay AAA money to advertise their game. So this 5 minutes means a lot to them.
Yeah.
And I don't mind hearing more about their game. Even if it's a game I'm not interested in, I'm like, I get that. It's more transitioning from game to game that they really just milked it. They could have cut an hour off.
I'm the same as you. Is like, I would rather them show the trailer, do the directors, whatever, and then start the next trailer instead of having this in-between break kind of thing.
Exactly. But I guess I don't know, sponsors. I didn't see any ads that they weren't reading off.
It was just a weird format.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch this at all, so I'm lost as an Easter egg. I did look at the highlights of what games were announced, and you explained a little bit of them to me. So
there were some good ones shown. Nothing huge, but we shouldn't expect that from an ID at Xbox event. But that's where the Xbox Studios comes in. I know a lot of people were complaining about that too. Like, where's the AAA games? Like, you didn't even read the title of the stream. Yeah. There was a really big one, or it looks like it could be a really big one. It's called Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn, I think is what it's called. And it's a third-person RPG, open world. It's like got magic and like Flintlock-style weapons. Like the setting's really cool looking, and the cinematic was dang good, like really good. But this is the studio that made Ashen, which had a lot of potential. It didn't end up really clicking for me just because Souls-likes, if they're not FromSoft, I haven't really, they haven't done it for me. But they have a good thing going as a studio, and this looks like they've ramped it up. Like they got a little more money, and they're working towards something big there.
Well, it's already got three of the trigger words for me: third person,
RPG, and
open world. Yeah, so
Flintlock.
Yeah, the Flintlock. That's what really gets me going, dude.
The main character, she's got a sidekick that's like a raccoon bird cat thing. Like it's a crazy looking character. It was a cool trailer. Y'all should watch it. Like the cinematic was really good. Also, I'm trying to think through all of them right now. I remember the Wrestle Quest.
Ooh.
I was interested, and then they showed the gameplay, and it's turn-based, and that's not for me.
Oh, it's turn-based.
Yeah, but it reminds me of a Golf Story. Excuse me. It reminds me of Golf Story, but wrestling. Yeah. Like, it's supposed to flesh out the whole backstory in this sport. But they had the coolest thing they did. I didn't care about the trailer, but they brought in Jeff Jarrett and Booker T to do the interview alongside I think the game director is what it was. And it was just cool that they brought on these stars, and like it's got Macho Man and Muchacho Man is your character, but Macho Man's in there, and I'm trying to think
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, it's got some really cool. Because at first I was like, "Ooh, they're gonna get sued."
Yeah,
obviously they got the right to do it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Not my kind of game, but someone's super excited.
The one that me and you watched was a golf one, right?
Yeah, that one was cool.
That one was pretty cool.
What was it called?
That's
Golf.
A good transition. Cursed to Golf.
Cursed to Golf.
It's a roguelike golf game.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool though.
I'm definitely gonna play that. It feels like it could come to Game Pass by the time it comes out.
I like golf games, but I don't want to play another roguelike, so I'll definitely be playing this game.
Yeah. It looks like it. I don't know. It looks like it's got a lot of replayability. They said there's 80 holes, and it does the thing. They're not randomized. Procedurally generated levels, but there's 80 of them, and they switch out when you go. Yeah. You do 18 holes to complete a run, and it's got all the different power-ups and stuff. So it's classic roguelike, but man, not your kind of game probably.
Well, yeah, but also when you said 80 holes, I thought of a dirty joke that I just kept to myself. I only need one hole. Did keep it to myself.
Didn't keep it to yourself.
No, I didn't. No, you know, I'm a piece of shit. So what? All right, so the next one that you want to talk, what's that escape one?
Yeah, Escape
Academy.
Academy.
That looked pretty good.
Looked really good. Eric's a huge fan of escape rooms, and I like the concept more as a game because I don't really want to put myself in that situation. But in a game, I love that. It's like a horror game to me. Like I'll do it in a game.
We still need to go to an actual escape room.
Oh yeah, one day.
Yeah,
one day you'll get me out of the house.
You guys can go. I'll sit in the car.
This game looks like it. And is it co-op or is it more than 2 players?
I know it's at least 2, split screen and online 2 players. It may be more than that, but it's interesting. I mean, I don't really like the art style. They did it real simplistic and cartoony, and I get that so they can focus more on the mechanics of the game. So it'll probably be a better game for it. But just on face value, I was like, not the way I would have went.
Yeah,
but. The gameplay looks cool and it looks investigative and like you could have a lot of fun with your friends. Like it's promising, and I think it'll end up being a Game Pass game. And if it ain't, it probably won't be very expensive.
It was announced for Game Pass.
Was it? Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, some of them were, some of them weren't.
It was weird.
At the beginning, a lot of them were, and then towards the middle,
you would think though, like the Xbox ID, all these would be Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, I think they got to secure the deal first because a lot of times that's how it goes. Oh, a big one for me. It's been out on PC, but it's coming to Xbox. It's called Void Train. I watched Markiplier play this, and it looks so fun. It's a survival game. You're on a train in a void, so there you go.
How'd they come up with that title?
Yeah. You're tethered to this train,
those
and
clever fuckers.
All of your materials, your crafting stuff is floating out in the void, and you got to get away from the thing and go grab them, but there's monsters flying around in the void.
Oh, nice.
And you're going station to station. And it's got a little bit of an RPG thing to it where you're leveling up as you go station to station. And it's got a lot of creepy, cosmic type energy to it. But when I watched him play, I wanted us 3 to play it so bad because it looks like a silly goose time.
Yeah.
You get out away from the train, and then all of a sudden this giant worm creature's coming at you. And I got to get back.
Yeah, then you'll hear me screaming.
But yeah, that's a good looking one. They didn't say it was on Game Pass, but I could see it, a deal being made. Excuse me.
You're excused.
This one didn't appeal to me, but you might want to check it out, Eric. Whalefall. It's when they showed it, it looked super anime. Like the trailer was extremely anime, and I was like, okay, maybe this is something I would like. But then they showed the gameplay, and it's like chibi, turn-based combat, and I don't even know how to describe the combat. It's kind of squad style. You just watch the trailer. You might like it. I don't have much more to say about it. It just wasn't my kind of game. I kind of zoned out. A big one at the beginning, they showed Immortality. And, a big one for me and Eric. I don't think Cole cares. It's an FMV game made by...
is that where they use like real actors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That was dope.
Definitely don't care.
Telling Lies and her story.
Telling Lies is dope.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
Me and Marley played that one night. Was it 4 or 5 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
It's addictive, because you just really want to figure this story out. And this one is based on a woman. She's an actor, and she did 3 movies, and they weren't released. They're unreleased. And it's done in the FMV style. And her face, you can pause, and if you find another face where she's making it similar to that, it'll take you to that scene. And she's dead. You got to figure out what happened to her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming. I think they said she died.
Murdered or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what the mystery is. But see, you're going through these 3 different movies trying to find the connections, and so it's just an interesting plot to me.
Yeah. Well, I really like that about Telling Lies, how you're using words to find another scene and stuff. Like once you understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like there's still not a direct path of what you're trying to do, but you're trying different things. And if it's loose enough where like it's not hand-holdy at all.
Right.
So when you do discover anything, it feels good.
Yeah. He did describe this. I can't think of the director's name, but anyway, he described it as a Metroidvania FMV.
Wow.
And that's kind of how Telling Lies feels, because once you get a certain piece of the
dialogue, you got to go back.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I remember this from way back, and now I know what he was talking about.
The coolest thing about Telling Lies is when you were you'd find one conversation and then finally stumble upon another one that tied into that one of the other side of that. Like you hear the other person saying there.
It's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
But we'll close out the ID show. There was a lot more, but personally, they didn't stick out to me, so we ain't gonna talk about them. But we'll go into Tunic, which released the day of
the show.
The ID.
Yep. And we've all played that a little bit, right?
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably played the least. I think I played an hour and a half.
Yeah. So. I ain't played. I mean, I've played a lot, but I haven't progressed much past you. I got stuck at one point. Go ahead, Cole. You give your thoughts first. And then
I'll give my thoughts first because that's the type of guy that I am. Yeah, Tunic. It's a delightful looking game. Delightful looking game. And I remember waking up and my mom was walking past me as you wake up as the fox for the first time on the beach, and my mom was like, "Oh, you play as a little foxy." I was like, "Yeah, little fox. It's gonna be a delightful game."
Nope.
No, it isn't. I mean, it's not like the combat's super hard, but the roll takes a little bit to get used to, and then I like that you can map out like what weapons to buttons.
Yeah,
that's cool. But it is brutal. You can die so fast and so easy, and you start out with the stick, and I don't know how. I don't think I'm like too far in, but I'm pretty far in, and I don't even have a sword yet.
Yeah.
I have 2 flasks and a stick.
I have a sword.
I have a sword. Yeah. I don't have the shield.
I don't have a shield. I feel
like the shield is a core mechanic in that game.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff I'm taking on, I don't know if I'm just going the wrong way and not supposed to be facing it. Yeah, dude. But I feel like I need the shield for that, and I don't know where to find it.
I'm stuck. I can't go back to the hub world.
Really?
Yeah, because I fell. So I went to the East Forest, and I fell down the ladder, and the ladder breaks.
I think that's the right way.
Yeah,
just
but all I have is a stick.
I think the sword is at the end of that.
Yeah.
And I found 2 flasks. And I saw a boss. I fought him 5 times. Didn't even get 1 hit on him in any of those times.
I hadn't seen a boss. But
a guard captain.
Oh, no, don't fight him.
Yeah, I just ran past him and got what I needed to get and got the fuck out.
The sword's up there in the area you're in. Yeah, I mean, the sword does open it up a lot with being able to cut
the hedges.
Yeah, like I like that. Okay, I want to say I like a lot of things about this game, and I'm a massive Death's Door fan. That's one of my favorite games of the past decade. I think that hurts this game for me is how much I like Death's Door because like the combat just doesn't feel good to me. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It's so
just whack. It's just
and I don't know. The
simple
feedback ain't
but
there.
brutal.
Yeah, like I
honestly
always loved to.
I wish that I could combine the 2 games because I do like the setting a little more than Death's Door because it's not as bleak and apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's not as heavy for sure.
The combat from Death's Door is so much better.
Yeah. Without being too like realistic either.
Right.
I'm gonna keep trying to play this game. I'm gonna look up where the heck I need to go because that's what I've been stuck on the same area for an hour, and I feel dumb to admit it, but I went all the directions I think I can go, and I keep coming to a road.
See, I liked what I played. With Elden Ring and other things that I want to play, it's hard to sit here and hit my head against the wall with this game.
Well, this is another thing I wanted to say is that coming off of 80 hours of Elden Ring and playing this, there are enough things similar about it in terms of like you leave your currency behind when you die, and just a lot of things are very different about it too. But it's similar enough that I'm like, I'd rather be doing this in Elden Ring right now.
Right.
What do you do with the currency?
There ends up being vendors.
Okay.
The one I've came across only sells dynamite and healing potions. So it hasn't been super helpful to me yet, but I imagine you'll get some that are more valuable.
Yeah.
So all I've got is 2 flasks and a stick.
Yeah.
And dude, I also found my first bug in it. So like I was fighting this thing and I went up an inclined area. But then I somehow glitched off the inclined area and got onto an area that's a standalone, and I could not. There was no enemies, and I couldn't dodge off. I couldn't jump off. I was like, "Fuck!" Now I got to start all the way over after killing all those enemies.
Damn.
So that sucked.
Investigator Cole finding all the bugs.
Yeah, I'm a bug.
Send him a letter.
I don't care enough to send him a letter.
But I'll say I'm in wait and see mode on the game. I'm going to give it another go and see if I can get further. Because I love this kind of game so much, and I do love the aesthetic of it. It's just the combat hasn't clicked yet.
Yeah, and it's not that I dislike the game either. Like you said, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it some more. So,
the next big game, like coming soon, is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Yes.
And we're all really excited for this.
So excited.
Like we've been waiting for this for a while since they showed it. What window is that?
7 years.
E3?
They showed it at. Yeah.
I think that's the first time they showed it was at E3. We're Borderlands fans, especially me, and we're going to play this together. We're also D&D fans, and that's what this is inspired from. And I love every aspect of what they've shown in that.
Yeah.
The character sheet and just all of it. The overworld being what it is. It looks so cool.
I like that they added that piece to the piece to the puzzle. Yeah. Added that piece to the puzzle because it looks like there was something about replaying the DLC, and of course they're going to add sliding and stuff like that, and they're going to just Like the guys behind Borderlands, they make some wacky stuff, and it's all delightful and fun. Well, I think, and they just have a whole new area to explore.
Yeah. I think this lends itself well to, because I think people, what they're tired of Borderlands is that slapstick thing. You know, they're getting tired of the goofball, outrageous comedy. And this being D&D and being inside of Tiny Tina's head explains that. It's more like Deadpool, where you understand that it's going to be that.
Well, I think this one hits more. I'm like more excited for this one than I was Borderlands 3 because I like the setting and the fantasy elements of it a lot more than I do.
That's fair.
Like I like Borderlands 3, but I think this is going to be more my speed.
Yeah. I was super excited for Borderlands 3, but this, it seems really soon after Borderlands 3, which, you know, like, I wouldn't say it's concerning because they got a big team to work on it, but I'd say that's my only concern maybe is that it's coming this quick off of Borderlands 3, and there's a little bit of fatigue. Never for me, but for other people maybe.
Yeah. Well, I just love that it's a Borderlands game where you can create your own character.
That is big.
Yeah.
Because the classes in Borderlands I've always loved, but I've always wanted to create my character from the ground up. Yeah, character creation for me is awesome. Yeah. Like that's why I love this Saints Row 2 so much, because if you get bored playing as this guy, you can just go create a superhero or whatever. You can just mold him to be whatever. Yeah, you can make your guy look like Idris Elba.
Do y'all have classes in mind? After watching that Clash trailer,
I like the one with the hammer, like to start.
Yeah,
I love that you like multi-class is a big mechanic in this game where you start with one and you get a passive and 2 skills. I think 2 skills, maybe 3, and then down the road you get. I think they're going to treat it like a relic where you get the multi-class and you pick one of the other ones. So there's all sorts of combinations you can make. However many, 6 classes can turn into this many. I'm not doing the math.
Nope, stop it. Do the math.
But yeah, probably the one with the hammer or the axe.
See, I'm leaning towards the necromancer.
That one's cool.
That class looks really
tank.
Cool.
That looks crazy.
I'm the tank guy. What's the tank? The one that carries he carries a hammer too, but
the berserker.
Yeah, there's 2. There's
the hammer
Stormclaw or the Clawbringer. Clawbringer, I think is what it's called.
That's it.
And then the Berserker, and the Berserker has an axe that he can do the spinny thing.
That's the one I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, I'll probably go with something light after I get the axe guy, where I want him, and then I'll add in the assassin class, which is what it is. I don't know.
It's like a rogue.
Yeah, that's what it is. That one looks pretty fun.
The stabby guy. I would like to do a stealth playthrough. Like if y'all are doing like big up front, I could do a stealth playthrough where I can, pop headshots and flank enemies, shit like that.
Well, I think something that people don't talk about enough with Borderlands 3 is the quality of life changes they made to multiplayer and other things like that. Like, and this one looks like it's continuing that trend. It's not going to be a huge change in terms of gameplay, but the quality of life, like a little thing like melee now, you can just hold it down and it'll continuously hit. There's a bigger focus on melee for one. It was like you had to click the stick. It didn't really feel good in any other Borderlands games. So you just click the stick and it hit once and you had to click it again. Like it just didn't feel as good. But a lot of things like that I saw they're improving, and that's what makes me excited for it. Not to mention all these crazy enemy types. There's going to be tons. Like Elden Ring has the most I've ever seen in a game. This looks like it could come close.
Right.
Like there's so much variety they can do with this.
I love the getting away from, like, don't get me wrong, there's definitely going to be guns, but like adding other stuff to it.
Like crossbow thing.
Yeah. Crossbow looks cool. The melee weapons looks cool.
The spells are the biggest thing for me. It looks like they feel good. Like in the DLC, the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, that's one of my favorite things about it. Is
the grenades being spells.
Are basically spells. So like if they flesh that out, it could be really good.
Oh, that felt really good. And
especially
we do need to talk about that DLC because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we finished that recently.
Yeah, and if you make your build like to where elemental damage does a lot, and then you start throwing those like electrical grenades, and it's like basically it's a lightning bolt from your hand. It's so sick.
Just blinking or something.
What?
Is this still recording?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
It's got a red light.
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. I thought it blinked.
Dude's crazy.
It's the multitasking in Borderlands that I love so much. Like you're throwing out an action skill and it's doing work in whatever way it does. And you're shooting, and then you throw a grenade, and it's track homing or whatever type of grenade you have, and you're just balancing all this stuff together. Meanwhile, your buddy's over there doing something that's benefiting you. It's like it's just this harmony of skills and gunfight, and like it's just a lot going on, and I love it. It's like controlled chaos.
Yes, I was
Sometimes it's
about
not
to say
controlled.
Yeah. There's a lot of chaos on the screen. It's fun to watch, fun to be in.
I'll say with the DLC when we played it, like I was the one pushing for us to play it because that's one of my favorite DLCs of all time from my favorite game of all time. And I was concerned the whole time. I was like, are they just humoring me? Are they not actually enjoying this? Well, more Eric because like, well, I know Cole's always loved Borderlands, and I've forced myself upon Eric with Borderlands over and over again.
Gross, dude.
Take that how you will.
Gross, dude.
But yeah, I keep making him play these games, and I wasn't sure if he was just being nice.
Yeah. But I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely, like, after you play 3 and you can slide and stuff, you feel that a little bit. But I like the story and stuff.
Yeah. The first hour or two we were playing that DLC, I noticed it, like me trying to slide, but I got over that.
Yeah.
Got back to the
I will say that spider boss sucked.
Oh, yeah.
That fight, well, I think it's
I
just
don't remember it ever being like that where she was
Oh,
healing
yeah.
past what we could. I don't know.
She kept healing. Like, she had a weapon or something that if she hits you with it, she takes your health and then heals herself. And I'm like, dude, and that's why I think there was pillars there so you can hide behind the pillars.
Yeah.
But, man, I built my guy to be an up close. I had 2 shotguns. I was running there, like, blasting. So, anyway, I just started blasting.
Then we see the health bar flying up because it was in her face.
I'm like, why does she keep healing?
Yeah.
You say it sucked. I mean, yeah, in a way it sucked, but I kind of like it felt like that raid boss strategy where like, oh, she got health back.
See, I like the final boss
figure it
because
out.
that felt more like a challenge that didn't feel unfair. Like, I mean,
I honestly in that playthrough, I like the spider boss better because it felt like when we were fighting the handsome. What do they call him in that?
Yeah.
Anyway, Handsome Jack in the
Handsome
DLC.
Sorcerer?
Handsome Sorcerer, that's what it is.
We just ran through.
Yeah, we just kept firing at him, and I never got attacked. You had aggro, so that's probably what it was, but I never felt threatened at all in that fight. Whereas the spider one, I was like, we may never finish this fight.
That spider one did take it did take a minute, and I kept going, why? Why? And I was like, I'm gonna run out of ammo any minute now.
I did run out of ammo.
I had to pick up a sniper rifle to do some damage.
But yeah, I'm glad we played that when we did because Wonderland's right around the corner.
Yeah.
We'll be playing that next week.
Oh, dude, it comes out next week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when this releases, it's 2 days away.
Triple.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's a triple whammy of Kirby, Wonderlands, and Ghostwire.
Yeah.
And guess what's getting left behind?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Ghostwire.
Yeah, little tangent that we'll probably delete, but I downloaded Evil Within 2 today
That's good.
because I'm going to play it. But
We'll leave it in there. It was pretty little.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, so.
No, that can come in handy during our Halloween stuff. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited.
Our Halloween spooktacular.
Yeah, but for me, I'll
Not
just
doing that.
I'll just be focusing on the Borderlands game.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have a character that I start with you guys, and then a character I'll start on myself by myself because I won't be playing the Kirby game.
I'm definitely not making more than one character on Wonderlands because that's I think what ruined me on 3 was having 3 or 4 different.
And playing the same. Okay, I'd have to say, if you play a game over and over again, 2's beginning isn't that bad, but 3's beginning is so. I think it's because I played it so many times.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the beginning the first time, but yeah, after that, I had 3 characters going. I had one for playing with y'all, one for solo, and then one for me and Macy playing.
Yeah.
And I was burnt out on.
Yeah, I had
Pandora.
Why do I have to go back to Pandora?
Two or 3 characters. And I was like,
I have,
oh my gosh.
I have 4 on Borderlands 3. Yeah.
It's
All
just
of
that
them?
first
Yeah.
area. Like it was just to do that first area so many times. I was like, I just want to do something else.
And my favorite was Zane.
Was which one?
Zane was
Zane.
good.
Zane was good. I didn't like the clone and stuff, but
Oh, I was going to
didn't use
ask,
the clone.
did you have a chance to play the Kirby demo?
no, Maverick did though.
Okay, I played a little bit of it, and I think it's going to be a really good game.
I
Like,
watched Maverick play it. It looks cool as hell.
I'm glad it's not open world, like I was thinking it was the first time they showed it. I'm glad it's more level based, kind of like a Mario 3D World,
Right.
or picking the world and then you just get to the end of it.
Yeah.
But there's hidden secrets and stuff in each one. Like there's a lot to it. I think it's gonna be a really good game. It's way better than the last one they put out, and that's just for me playing a couple hour demo.
Yeah, that Allies or whatever it was
Star
not
Allies,
made for us. It was
Yeah.
made for Maverick. So one thing I want to talk about, we got video now. It makes us a lot more comfortable with certain things, and we wanted to go over some of the things we have planned going forward. Like we got a whole Let's Play series in the fold. We want to do tournament style, like the first thing we're planning on doing is Elden Ring, and we're gonna each take turns, starting from the beginning of the game, and take note of who kills bosses. Like, we're gonna write it down at the bottom of the screen. It's gonna show who's killed bosses and got points for that. And we may make it a drinking game. I'm not sure yet. And we're not gonna do it off a desk because we might die of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
But maybe if I kill a boss, y'all have to drink or something. Well, I don't know. We'll figure that part out.
We can make mixed drinks.
Yeah, but we also got another mechanic with that we want to. Like, whoever has the controller, when it's time to level up, gets to pick. So the build's gonna come out real wacky.
Yeah.
Just that we feel like that'd be interesting. We're also going to tease one more thing. We have a kart racing Grand Prix in mind where we'll play different kart racing games like Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing and some surprises in there. And we'll tally up points depending on where we placed and see who wins at the end. And maybe we come up with a trophy or a plaque or something. There's going to be a prize for who wins this.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, we just wanted to go ahead and tease out some of the things we have coming so you know what to expect from us. But, yeah, I think that about wraps it up. There's a lot of games coming, and we're excited.
So excited. I mean, I can't even stand it. I'll probably go on a killing spree.
With his red right hand.
Yeah.
But that'll do it for this episode. If you enjoy the content, subscribe and hit the bell icon. That means a lot to us.
And follow us on Instagram.